Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's okay. Today I'm doing another VOD review. This is a Masters 5 VOD review of Alyise. Alyise basically saved up 5,000 channel points on my Twitch and was able to redeem a VOD review, which I do live on my Twitch. However, sadly, sometimes the videos do get a little bit corrupted or things get interrupted and stuff like that. And I just find it's better just to re-record them in my own time and stuff. So this is going to be a re-recording. As always, I will upload any kind of the VOD reviews to to YouTube even afterwards. Once I've streamed them on Twitch. But if anything does happen, I'm more than happy to re-record them as well. It might be that I say some things that are a little bit different to what I said, or maybe I pick up on new things and stuff like that. So it's always good to check out the VODs, and obviously they're going to be there as well for forever basically. And obviously you want to check out other Mercy mains, maybe someone like Neo rank or maybe a rank above you and stuff like that, and you want to see how they play, more than welcome to go check them out as well. There's a full playlist which will be kind of this video will basically in that playlist, so you can have a look through. So let's have a look at Alyise. I'm not going to lie to you, I cannot remember a lot about when I first recorded this, so I'm going to be kind of looking at it with some fresh eyes. It has been a week. But anyway, so looking at the comp we have a Sojourn, Cassidy, Zen, and a Doomfist. All are great damage boost targets. I think with the Doom, you can kind of leave him alone, but obviously you can help damage boost him in. Sojourn, I believe, is probably going to be your main blue beam target here, but you can always shut the blue beam onto other people. So I think at the moment it would have been better just to kind of play in the tunnel. Love the slingshot away though, and play him back and away. Let's go damage boost the cast, all good. I don't know whether you would have been able to save the, what's it called? The honor here. This was a very risky super jump. I don't know whether you knew the Widow was alive and not and stuff like that, but I feel as if when you did it, you kind of realized it was oh gosh, and then you dropped. So it's good that you quickly dropped out of the way, out the cover and stuff like that. I guess you're gonna go res. Okay, we'll res in the cast. I mean, honestly, it is the better thing to go and res the cast there instead of the Sojourn. Sojourn has more movement abilities to get back compared to Cass. Cass's roll doesn't go as far as the Sojourn slide, so Sojourn could also just get back a lot quicker. I think here on these stairs, instead of standing on the stairs, yeah, like you're doing it now, you should be doing this kind of from the get-go, because there's no need for you to stand on the stairs. You could just stand around this corner. Oh, keep that max beam range as much as you can. I think you can't do anything sadly about the Zen, gets headshot. Sad anti as you rotate round. Once again, I don't think you can really do anything about that. Nice heals. I know you went in for that Doomfist there, but sadly there's nothing really you could do there. So you should be looking to back out here. You make a very nice rotate there, because I expect obviously all your team just kind of come back. You should kind of help your Sojourn, yeah. She did make a weird rotation though, to be fair, so if she does end up dying here, yeah, it's not really your bad. I feel so you healed her up from as much as you could. Nice, right? Honestly, you're kind of how much your, what's it called? Your beam range and stuff is very, very nice. Obviously, you know that Widow's over there, so that's very good, acknowledgement of it, basically. Nice balancing of these heals. Once again, you're playing very, very safe, very out of the way and stuff like that. I love that. Here, same thing. I would have super jumped up here. I would have aimed to go somewhere. The reasoning is that they still have this Widow that obviously you don't really know where she is at the moment. But you know they still have her and stuff like that. So essentially what you want to do is you want to kind of what I would have done here is done a jump to kind of make sure you're safe up here, because especially in Masters and GM and stuff like that, people will punish you so much harder for bad positioning compared to gold and plat, for example, right? So what you want to be doing here is basically come from these stairs and you want to do a jump up and then up onto here. So you're out of the way. You can still help your cast here 100%, but it's the fact that you're in a safer spot rather than just being completely out in the open like this. But it's all good. Same thing, I would have not done a little bounce there. I don't think there's really any need to. Once again, you kind of just put yourself out into the open. That was not too bad because you're playing a lot closer and stuff like that. But I love this damage boost. Honestly, you're pushing the damage boost is great. I love it so much. I love the attempts, might as well, because obviously I've got no one to damage boost. Okay, you did a very dangerous rotation here. I remember seeing this on stream, right? Instead of making this dangerous rotation, especially because there's usually a mega over here, and also your cast is quite healthy, you essentially put yourself into a massive harm's way just to kind of help your cast here, right? I love his little hat, by the way. It's all stretched. But yeah, instead, what you should have done is you could have used your Sojourn or something here, got up round and then kind of like walked down and then met him here, right? And then helped him out because I think it's good. Look, yeah, it's about to use his dead eye now, right? So all you can do is just kind of like take that safe rotation, go up here, go around here, and then come and meet your cast down here, all right? But you do the right thing though. Lovely use of cover. Push that damage boost, nice. I think once he's above half HP, just push that damage boost when he's in Deadeye, because it's unlikely that people are gonna like peek him and stuff like that. So you might as well just do it. You positioned a lot better now. I was just about to say you should be like positioned more into this room, and you've kind of like done that really nicely now. See what happens here. Nice pop of the Valk, actually. I feel that was a very nicely well-timed Valk, I will say that. Nice rotation away. Okay, in this scenario, you never ever want your heal beam on someone, or just like have your beam on someone that is slept, unless if they've been like hard focused, right? Here, instead of just having your beam on like on this Cass here, you can full focus damage boost on here, right? Go and help your Sojourn who's like 1 HP, right? And help eliminate this honor. Help basically eliminate the rest of the team that might cause harm to your sleeping target, right? Yeah, because I don't know if you would have like saved your Sojourn there, but it would have been better to have your full like beam. With that res as well, I would have done like a little like bunny hop around the corner and resed it around here. It's just kind of nice just to get used to doing these safer reses and stuff like that. On the just in case someone comes back from the respawn, like for example, I don't know, say is the Ashe coming back now? Yeah, so they've switched Ashe, so it should be coming back. If she came back a bit quicker and was just here, she would have like 2-tapped you like straight away, right? It's just once again, get into that kind of like use like safest positioning that you can to get that res off. Okay, I like how you're positioned in this room. Out of the way. Very nicely like out of the way of the fight, because obviously you want to play basically as safe a range as you can. Nice heals on your Ram here. I'd stop healing here just purely because you have, I think it's your healing orb here. I can't really tell, to be fair, by the UI colours. Yeah, this is your healing orb, right? This healing orb's coming through for your Ramattra here. Stick a damage boost onto someone, because the Ramattra is already like above half HP. So you might as well just stick a damage boost on someone. You have a Moira as well to help with that healing. It's not like you're on Zen anymore where you'd have to push the healing more. You could just put the damage boost on your like DPS here, which is exactly what you're doing now, which is very, very nice. Just unfortunate there. I don't think you get out here, no. Or you might do with the coalescence. Yeah, just unfortunate. Just a very, very good ult by the Ram. Obviously, I think you did the right thing of like trying to kind of help your cast there and stuff like that. But sadly, I don't think there's really anything else you could have like done there personally in order to keep him up, especially because Ram is like so strong at the moment. I feel like he's probably like, one of the strongest tanks. If he walks onto you with your annihilation, honestly can't do anything. That's just unlucky that she was just there while you were rotating. How do your DPS die here? I want to have a look at this. Super quick. Sorry, it will go back like 20 seconds by the way, so I'll have to watch it like respawn again. I'm kind of intrigued as to how your DPS died here. I don't know whether they were too aggressive because of the Widow or something. Because obviously, you want to play safe with the Widow here. Right, so let's watch this. So your DPS... Alright, I don't know whether you being with them would have helped a little bit more here. But at the same time, I know you want to play that safer positioning because obviously you know that Widow has just peeked this kind of like window here and like kind of killed you. Honestly, I think you've done the right decision here in staying inside and staying with your Ramattra. Obviously, if they start like dropping out stuff like that, you could have come around and maybe kind of helped them like around here. But in all honesty, especially with this Ashe and the dynamite damage and the Widow having sights here as well, I feel as though... I just feel as though you kind of like lose that fight. I feel as though it was kind of like not bad positioning on like your DPS's behalf, but it was a bit like, you know. We're going in with Ram ult though, which has got picks. Same thing again, like while he's still healthy, just push that damage boost. I don't know what your Moira, I think your Moira's going to go and fight them, which is like, you know, fair enough. Oh, she died, but you know, fair enough, she went to go and do it, everything. You did the right thing though, same with your Ram here. I feel as though you knew this Ashe was here, but you kind of like, oh my gosh, she's here kind of thing, right? You know this Ashe is here because she's just like, you know, been on this flank here. Nobody's killed her. She's still going to be around here, right? So essentially what you want to do is just still be aware of that. You know, still play your cover. Play over here on the just in case. Always like try and play that cover on the just in case that she's still there because obviously she didn't die the Widow, well, the Widow and Moira end up trading, didn't they? So you know the Ashe is still going to be there. So it's just that extra little bit of knowledge just knowing that she's here. I love this, like, res, though, when you've, like, got around to doing it, stuff like that. But now you want to, like, get out, like, as soon as you can. Some nice shots from your cast, though, there. But definitely, you want to get out a lot quicker, though, if you can. Nice going back to your Cassidy. But she can't do anything with that Sojourn, just a headshot once again. Sadly, can't do anything when someone gets headshotted. I think here you were trying to look for a res, weren't you? And sadly, you, unless if you like do a super jump over the top of the like bush shelter there, you can't like do a res here. And I think at this point you just need to die. You either get out or die. You took the option to get out, which is great because obviously you have people to your cast, which I guess is good. Is your Sojourn okay though? Because obviously you kind of just abandoned your Sojourn. So your Sojourn's taking a 1v1 right now. And I love how you rotate up to your cast in order to help and everything. But I want to see how this plays out with your Sojourn. Okay, the Sojourn ends up dying to another headshot. Like, I don't, honestly, unfortunately, you can't really do anything against the headshot. But you know that she's just died to that, so you need to be careful with this res. Exactly what you did. Perfect. And you did it as well at the right timing, though. Like, you did... I feel as though I would have checked a little bit sooner in order to just make sure this Remarcher wasn't, like right here, for example. Because if the Remarcher's, like, right here, then obviously, bam, bam, you know, you're dead. But I would have, like, quickly just done a quick check before I started the res. Because I, like, started the res and thought, oh, gosh, I need to check. So instead, like, make sure you check and then res. And still check as well when you're resing as well. It's always a good kind of habit to do. I like this Valk here. Once again, push that damage boost. Same thing again, people still full HP. Just push that damage boost more. I think you just need to kind of push that damage boost a little bit more at certain points. Like, specifically like in your Valks. I think I said this on the stream. Where it's like you need to kind of like focus a lot more on, what's it called? Damage boosting in your Valks. Nice of you, Cass. Oh my gosh, huge castle. Sadly can't do anything for the Moira there, unless if you're a Ram puts up a shield. She's very out in the open. Honestly, just back this out. Yeah. Here I would get my Glock out and just kind of look behind and kind of like keep a check. Just in case if people try to chase you down and stuff like that. Like if they're low HP and trying to chase you down and you're like adamant of getting out, then obviously, you know, like you can fight them, try and get out. But if there's like 2 or 3 of them that are trying to chase after you and it's kind of like got to the point where, you know, you're not going to escape, then just 100% just, you know, die there. But you got a nice escape there, which is very, very nice. Here you want to be kind of like pushed up with your Sojourn a little bit more. You seem to be very adamant on following this Cassidy, and I think you did say that you were like duoed with the cast, which is all well and good, but at the same time, this is kind of like a really good thing to kind of like for everyone in general. If you're duoed with someone, it does not mean that you need to like full hard pocket them for the entire time, right? For example, say I'm queued with a, I don't know, say I'm queued with a Cassidy player, right? Like Alyise is, right? Say I'm queued with a Cassidy player, but my team also has a Pharah. Basically, in a general scenario, say that like both like the Cass and the Pharah are on the same skill level, your Pharah is the better damage boost target. Even though the Cass is obviously with your duo and stuff like that, you should try and communicate that with him and be like, I need to be with the Pharah. And sure, you can damage boost the Cass when your Pharah is being a little bit more passive or maybe not taking an aggressive angle. But once your Pharah is going in on that aggressive angle, and obviously Pharah as well, is probably one of the best like damage boost targets, purely just because like Pharah and Mercy together are so strong, but Pharah by herself is really like vulnerable and weak compared to a Cass, for example. Like I feel as though Pharah without the Mercy is kind of a lot useless, right? So you need that Mercy with her, and you need to like go in, do those like damage boosts, stuff like that. I think it's kind of the same with your Sojourn right now, where it's kind of like, even though okay, she's kind of getting a bit diffed by the Widow, I will say that, you know, I have seen that. But at the same time, you shouldn't not like, you know, pass up the opportunity to damage boost and kind of like help her out. Here instead of like being stood out yet. Ooh, okay. This whole scenario was very risky, right? Oh my gosh, just even Dovin's gonna get you. I remember this happening, right? This whole scenario, literally, play over here. Like, your beam can reach, like, over here, and also it means if your team need help in the fight, you can get out. Like, you can help your Sojourn if needed, you can help out your team. You kind of, like, end up going for this res, and I like the res, it's just you did it in the complete wrong angle. You should have, like, come off to the sides. Like, this, where you stood here, because you were stood here for a bit, right? 100% res here, or res, I think you might be able to reach the res on this side. Looking at the distance, I think that's possible, but at the same time, you'd have to have a look in game and stuff like that about how, like, get your proper judgment. Obviously, she ends up diving into you, and I don't really understand why. Love the little jump to get out, though. And if you, yeah, you could escape your Moira, which is very, very nice. Love that little escape of you, though. Instead of doing the straight super jump up, though, I would have done an angled one. The angled super jump is a lot quicker than doing, like, a straight up one. Because by doing the straight up one, you kind of have to go, like, straight up and then, you know, what's it called, like, across. Whereas with the angled one, you could just go, like, quickly in the building. Because I feel as though you do a lot of these, like, straight up super jumps, when in reality, you could do a lot more, like, slingshotty kind of themed ones if needed, in order just to kind of, like, get to places quicker as well. Because I feel as though you're left kind of vulnerable while you're just doing the straight up super jumps and stuff. Okay, so gonna keep pushing forward with the Cass here. Obviously, your whole team's kind of like gathered together, so you don't really need to focus on anyone that's flanking. You're in a very vulnerable scenario here. Like, especially with this Ashe that's facing, like, directly onto you. Now, I feel as though with her, like, drop-off damage and stuff, she's not really gonna, like, you know, harm you at all here. You want to kind of play this wall a lot more than what you're doing. Like, you want to play over here, and also stick that damage boost onto your Cass. Like, I know you're panicking and it's like, oh, I need to, like, heal it because it's, like, below half HP. Stick that damage boost on. Okay. Although I like this Valk, I feel as though you should have used it to stretch your beams out and help your Ramattra and help your team out here. Because I felt as though now you basically just end up popping your Valk just to pocket a Cass more, if you get me. Like, I feel as though if you wanted to Valk, you should have, like, used it to, like, help extend the beams out to your teammates and stuff like that. Because if you're just using it just to pocket your Cass, then in all honesty, I feel as though you've wasted your Valk. I think here, but for this end of Valk, basically, because obviously, like, you've killed off this Ashe here, this one right here. you killed off this Ashe, and so essentially it means that the team fight is safe now. You know that you've had this team kill because it's obviously just come up, and you know the team's going to be respawning. So what do? Because you're still in Valk, I'd go for this res on the Moira, and then do not heal until the Valk is ended. Because that Ramattra has about 300 HP of healing that you can do. That can get you, I don't know how much ult charge, like, specifically, but it can still get you, like, a good start onto your next Valk. And I can't unfortunately see how long's left due to the stream overlay being on. But it still means that if needed, you have another Valk for, I'd say, last fight, because I feel as though we're getting quite close to the end of the match here, which I cannot tell. Nice push for your Cass here. I love this rotation around the back in order to help him. This is great. Oh, okay. I feel as though you hung about a bit too long. You did the same thing because I was, like, hanging about with him. I would have either, like, got my pistol out and forced the Ana away and then slingshotted into the room, which is kind of something that you could do, or I just back away. Go back around, and obviously do this, like, big long rotation. Or instead of doing that entire rotation, you could have, like, just, what's it called, like, wait for your team to push up a little bit more, and then just slingshot yourself into this room when needed, because I think your Sojourn ended up doing that. But it's all good. You end up backing out. Lovely slingshot out, using that cover again. You need to put that blue beam on as soon as you can. Still look to kind of help your Sojourn if needed here. Like, instead of, because you're kind of, like, just fully committed with your Cass here, but your Sojourn's, like, really weak. And obviously, I know your Moira's here and everything. But, say your Sojourn, like, ended up with a dynamite on her and stuff like that, right? I'm pretty sure your Moira would not be able to come and help you here, right? So what you want to do is, as soon as you backed out here, if you realize that the Sojourn is still weak, I'd attach my beam onto her, and if you want to still fully commit with this Cass, and 100% just go back go with him. You can obviously still damage boost his Sojourn, especially because she's got her ult coming up. So, like, damage boost his Sojourn ult still absolutely rips through people. But anyways, we'll see what you do. Oh, I'm on the cast. I'm so sorry. Nice. Okay, so I like how you've rotated to a nice spot here. That is really unfortunate. And I felt as though it's because, sorry, while I was on the cast, because I remember saying this on stream, you were hanging about a lot over here, right? As Mercy, if the robot's kind of like around this area and the team have this like space held, you never ever want to be here as Mercy. You always want to be around here. And I feel as though you kind of like corrected that, and then it was like, oh gosh, the Widow, right? Instead, you want to kind of like position yourself around here. You could position yourself so nice like around here, and you could just stick a blue beam onto your cast or your Sojourn, whoever you want to damage boost, stick it around here. You can also crouch behind this kind of like bush bit, but I feel as though this is like a little bit of like riskier move compared to like round here. And you can just like jiggle, like peek this wall. I like to call it jiggle peeking, when obviously like, you know, you've kind of like the beam linger where it's like on, off, on, off. You can just play around there. It feels like you might be able to avoid that death there. We'll see how this team fight plays out though. Is your cast coming to back off, or is he coming to pick you up? Because if so, that is very sweet of him. But we'll see how this team fight plays out. Rotate round with your cast. Same thing here again. I'd rotate myself around here, just purely because you can assist your team a little bit more here, rather than just kind of sticking out with your main blue beam target of like your cast. You could just kind of, what's it called? Play over here, and then it means you can help out your team if needed here, but you also assist in your Cassidy, and also you don't have this like weird angled sightline again. Remember, they still have that Widow. Widow could just grapple up into one of these rooms, bam, your head's gone, you know? You want to be playing still in that safest position, and I feel as though the safe position right now for you would be over here, to kind of like help your team out a little bit more. Just an unfortunate nade that kind of like scopes over really, really nicely. Push that damage boost. Okay, that whole scenario, because he's still above half HP, you could just push that damage boost on the cast. Because I don't know whether he would have like ended up killing anyone there. I'm going to be very honest, because obviously he didn't really hold it for that long. But if you so if people don't know, you could damage boost high noon, and it allows it to charge up to a kind of like the damage needed in order to like eliminate someone, right? So it means that it takes like less time in order to kill someone, basically. And it's very, very good if your cast is like above half HP. The reason why I'd like recommend doing this is because high noon is usually used as like a zoning ult, where it's like people are just going to hide away from those sight lines, right? As soon as people are hidden, it's very unlikely that they will re-peek the sight line. So then you can obviously use that to kind of help heal him up a little bit if he's a below like half HP and stuff like that. But the majority of the time you'll want to, what's it called, damage boost the high noon, especially when he's above half HP. Damage boost. Nice, okay. It's just kind of flicking on that damage boost a little bit quicker. Even if he's like going to be crouched down like this, I would still put the damage boost beam onto like your, what's it called, your Marcher or something like that. You want to be trying to get in as much value as you can with your beams. But it's all good. Healing up the cast. I'd back out. Lovely little back out and around the corner as well. I feel like he needs to... Same with this res, I think you could drag it around this corner a little bit more. I liked how you kind of like dragged it around towards the end and stuff like that. That was great. I feel as though you could do it a little bit earlier in order to like get it a little bit safer, but it's all good. Going around to help with the cast, that's great. Lovely Valk, obviously to help your Ramatra. Same thing, once he's above that half HP barrier, just push that damage boost. Either go and help your cast and kind of damage boost because he'll want to contest his Widow in a second, or just overall just kind of damage boost in the middle of the ult. You know, you don't need to wait until someone's like full HP in order to damage boost in Valk. Specifically as well because Valk is a lot like less impactful now than it was in Season 3 due to like the healing nerfs and stuff like that. So essentially with Valk, you just kind of want to use it with Valk, I kind of like to say to use it a little bit selfishly at some points and use it to kind of like position yourself in better positions. Like it's not like that huge ultimate like it, well not, it wasn't even a huge ultimate, but it's not like a life-saving ultimate like it was in Season 3 where you could chuck out a ton of healing and help, you know, a load of people that were critical. Now it's more like you just use it like you would do in Overwatch 1 where it wasn't a very impactful ult and you just kind of use it just to help, either help your team engage a little bit more but also keep yourself safe and use it selfishly. I like this rotation round. and ended the VOD. So overall, a very, very strong VOD. Your positioning in general was very, very good. And I feel as though your game sense as well is really, really good. Like, you know how to position yourself as Mercy, you know when to do certain things. There's just a few kind of like tiny little errors, and that's it. That is literally all that's stopping you from climbing any higher. I feel as though it's like those little tiny errors, like for example, pushing damage just a little bit more in Valk, just purely because when people are above half HP, specifically your tank as well, because you can allow your Moira to kind of heal the tank, just push that damage boost a lot more if you can. Because you'll just get so much more value out of your Valks if you damage boost more. Second thing is with like your Cass high noons, or if like people are like antied, stick that damage boost blue beam on straight away, or find someone else to blue beam. Same if your Cass is like slept. And it feels that all that kind of comes down to this fact that I think you said on stream that you were duoed with the Cass, and it's kind of like that mentality, right, of even though you're duoed with this Cassidy, it's not like you need to spend your whole entire life of, oh my gosh, I need to, protect this guy with my whole entire life. You still have you still have three other teammates that you still need to take care of, and there will be certain moments where they will be better to damage boost. It's not like whatever, because I don't like this idea of like pockets unless if it's like specific, like for like a Pharah or an Echo or anything. I prefer to kind of say a main blue beam target, because with Mercy, she gets so much more value if you're damage boosting key abilities with your team, as well as obviously, I guess, kind of like being with your main blue beam targets and pocketing them, if you would like to call it that. But overall, great VOD, honestly. Super, super strong. Really, really, like, you had some really, really good movement. There was just a few kind of like little tiny areas, but at the same time, we all make those. Everyone's not perfect. We're always going to make like slight little positional errors in our games and stuff like that. But overall, very, very strong VOD, Alyise, honestly. And I could see you easily climb into GM very, very soon. But yeah, thank you guys so much for everyone that's watched on YouTube. I hope you all enjoyed. Once again, you can redeem your own VOD reviews. They are 5,000 channel points on my Twitch channel, just so you can literally sit there and you can either come and chat, come and say hi to me. Of course, I'm going to be streaming to my lovely community, and I usually give out like bits of like educational tips and stuff like that, as well as just having a really good time. Obviously, you can see me do other VODs, and you can literally just like sit there and lurk as well. If you don't want to chat, more than welcome to, just sit there and just watch and then get the 5,000 channel points. I'm not getting offended. I do them for free, and that's how you can redeem them for free, basically. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all later. Bye.